From today as holidaymakers return home from the Easter break. Well, the N1 South from Moria and Limpopo, N3 from KwaZulu-Natal and the N4 from Mpumalanga are some of the major roads that are expected to be heavily congested. More than 1,500 cars are passing the Carousel Plaza on the N1 South from Limpopo. Well, Robert Mulaudzi is the Johannesburg EMS spokesperson and he joins us in studio now. Good afternoon, Robert, and thank you for your time on the PM News Desk.
Afternoon to the viewers out there.
But always a pleasure to chat to you, Robert. Look, the busiest day of the Easter break is upon us. Tell us about the interventions you have in place.
Yeah, we've got our emergency service personnel throughout the city of Johannesburg. We've got about 28 service stations which are servicing all the 7 regions of the city of Johannesburg. We've had a number of interventions before Easter, where we had a number of awareness campaigns talking to motorists and everyone to make sure that as they drive, they need to look after themselves, obey the rules of the road. And we also happy that so far we didn't receive a large number of motor vehicle accidents, since most of the motorists were leaving the city of Johannesburg.
So you're feeling that these interventions are having the desired effect on the ground?
Yes, we think so. Just that now we don't know what might happen, because we're looking at high traffic volumes from up until maybe 9-10 this evening. So we already have lost about 2 people due to motor vehicle accident, and also a pedestrian who was knocked down of Easter on Good Friday evening, pedestrian alongside the N14 just before Malibongo.
Robert, despite these interventions which have become perennial, we see them coming into effect year after year, pedestrian deaths still remain at alarmingly high levels. Why is this?
I think it's a problem of which we are doing our best to address it. I think safety is our collective responsibility. Also, the communities out there, they need to take that responsibility also, because we've seen a number of people trying to cross, the highways and byways of our city, and most of them they are mostly under the influence of alcohol. So we actually want to urge, pedestrians to stay away from, crossing. They need to use, designated areas to cross the road. And obviously we have a number of our JMPD colleagues who are out there trying to make sure that people obey the rules of the road. And also, maybe we need to also urge our communities within our informal settlements, since during the Easter holiday period, we've seen an increase in terms of the number of fires in those areas. And most of those fires, the causes were mostly, alcohol abuse. We know that Easter period is known as most of the people are actually visiting, indulging themselves in terms of going to church and all that. But we've seen that mostly in the informal settlements, most of the people there, they try to enjoy themselves, excessively, and then they end up putting themselves
and the winter season is fast approaching.
And exactly now we've seen that the temperatures are dropping lately, and then we just want to encourage our people in those areas to look after these heating and lighting appliances, things like paraffin stoves and candles, because we've seen in the past that during this winter season we tend to get a lot of fire incidents.
Robert, I want to take you back a little bit. Last year, about 18 of your firefighters succumbed to smoke inhalation when they were fighting a blaze in a high-rise building in Johannesburg.
Yes.
Has this poor equipment and training issue been resolved?
Yeah, I think it's firstly we need to take note that City of Johannesburg Emergency Services is actually one of the largest, if not the largest in Africa. So we are out there 365 days, a year, so day and night. So we will always, have challenges, as much as you have been referring to those challenges we had previously. We have got a plan, equipment replacement plan, where we'll now and then replace, the old equipment which we have, to make sure that we are, within that standard, international standard of rendering fire service out there. I mean, we've got about 28 service stations throughout the city of Johannesburg. We are actually the largest service in Africa, so we'll now and then have those challenges. So I think what is important is that what do we do with those challenges?
In terms of training for your employees to man the new equipment?
Yes, our employees are most experienced maybe in the service, because we now and then receive invitations to go abroad to help, in terms of if there's other disasters out there, like areas like the Philippines, Algeria, and the other areas where we have been, assisting the people. So I think we, in terms of our skills and, our capabilities of dealing with emergencies, I think we are on top of our game. And then we need to reassure the communities out there that we should be able to deal with any emergency which might occur throughout the city of Johannesburg.
Thank you, Robert, for your time on the PM News Desk. Robert Mulaudzi, the EMS spokesperson in Johannesburg.